Hi, welcome back to Learning to Garden. Now that you've started your seed, it has to grow for a long time before you can harvest anything. For tomato plants, they have to grow for 2 to 4 months before you can harvest any tomatoes. So how can you take care of your plant in the meantime to make sure that it stays healthy and produces a good harvest? Well, as plants grow, they need the same requirements that they needed when they first started growing. They need a space to grow, soil, nutrients, sunlight, water, and air. You'll want to give your tomato sprout at least 12 hours of sun per day. That's an entire day. So if it's inside, you may need to move it around the house to different windows to make sure that it's getting enough sun. Also, you'll want to keep the soil moist, but not too wet. Another way that you can make sure that your plant stays healthy is by making sure that it has enough nutrients. Plants need nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and lots of other ones too. People usually get nutrients through their food or through vitamin pills, but plants get their nutrients through the soil. So, how can you make sure that your soil contains a lot of nutrients to make sure your plant stays healthy? One of the ways you can do that is by adding compost. So today, I'm going to teach you how to make compost. So, you may be wondering, what is compost? Well, compost is a mixture of organic material that breaks down into nutrients. Organic material is anything that comes from a living thing. For example, banana peels, which come from bananas on a banana tree. Also, wood chips and branches, which also come from trees. You could add dead grass and leaves, or even manure from animals. When you take all of these things and add them into a pile, it'll break down to form compost with lots of nutrients that you'll add into your soil. Here's our compost pile at the ASU garden. As you can see, we have lots of food waste, we have cardboard, and dead plants. So with all this stuff in here, how does it all break down? Well, all of this organic material gets broken down with the help of decomposers. Decomposers are bugs, worms, fungi, and bacteria that dig through, chew up, and eat organic material. To help decomposers break down organic material quickly, we can add green waste and brown waste, which is 2 types of organic material. You should have 2 parts brown waste for every 1 part green waste. Do you know of examples of brown waste and green waste in this pile? Green waste is mostly food scraps, while brown waste is mostly dried out plant material. Let's look for examples together. Let's see. I see some banana peels, some parts of an apple, some orange peel, and lettuce. Those are all examples of green waste. It's food. So let's look for examples of brown waste now. I see some leaves, some dried out plant material, cardboard, and napkins. These are all brown waste examples. We can also look for decomposers in our compost pile. Look closely. You'll probably see some gnats. And I bet you, if we dug through this compost pile, we would find worms too. You can go on a walk around your neighborhood and look for areas with moist soil. If you dig into the ground, you'll probably find worms, pill bugs, and beetles. Those are all great decomposers. If you keep your compost balanced between green and brown waste, and you keep it moist and turn it occasionally to give it air, then you should have compost full of nutrients in about 5 weeks. Once your compost looks like soil, like this, then it's ready to be put into your tomato pot or into your garden outside.
Wow, I learned a lot about composting today. If I wanted to start composting at home, how would I do that?
That's a great question, Laura. Thanks for asking. There's a lot of different ways you can get involved with composting. One of those ways is to start composting in your backyard. You can just dig a pit or get a wooden box to collect your food scraps and dried landscaping material. If you don't have space to compost at home, you can still compost by using the City of Tempe's recycling program. You can drop off your food waste with them, and in exchange, they'll give you free compost. I hope you enjoyed learning how to compost and how to get compost for your garden. Next time, we're going to be teaching you how to control the pest population in your garden without harming the beneficial bugs like the decomposers that we love in our compost pile. See you soon!